Alright, what's up there, people, 100 Spoke Riders? And today's mission is going to be a little bit different. Now, when I did the other side of this, I did it one piece at a time, breaking it all apart, taking it off piece by piece. That torsion bar right there was still all hooked up because I didn't have that torsion bar key remover tool. So now that I got the key, I pulled the key out first, and the torsion bar is loose. I'm gonna try to do this, but keep everything all together and pull everything apart all in one unit. Might be a little difficult because it's gonna make things extremely heavy. The torsion bar is still in the bottom A-arm. It really won't come out of there unless you take some pieces off. Okay, the first step of this is to unhook this ABS wire from the frame. This plastic part is right here. It's hooked to the frame. So I'm gonna take this and try to pry it off of there without breaking up too much stuff. There it is. That's not too bad. Unplug that like that. And tuck that wire right there. Next step is pull this bolt off. Once I pull that bolt off, that wire will be free. I'm gonna use this right here. I got this little universal wrench here. Pull that frame bolt out, and that looks like it's a 13. Yep, 13. That probably would have been a lot easier with a ratchet and a socket, but oh well. I don't get to use this thing too often. So put that back in there. 2 clips on the A-arm that holds the wire. You can just pop them out, pull the clips off. Now with this wire off, it's free to travel with everything when it comes off of there. So I'll just leave this right here for now. The brake line is free because it's kind of hooked to the frame and it's not going anywhere. Okay, 18 millimeter is the size to get that off. 18 millimeter. But because that sway bar and the bottom A-arm is going to be in the way, you're not going to have a lot of wiggle room. So use the best tool that you can get. For me, for some reason, I don't really have a lot of 18 sockets. So I'm just going to use this right here. You want to use something ratcheting, so you can. That's about all you're going to ratchet a little bit off at a time, but it'll get there. So let me ratchet that loose and that nut off of there. And I'll pick it up from there. I got that nut off of there using this thing here, 18 millimeter, open end ratchet. Just a little bit at a time, but eventually it popped off. Now the next step of this is to pop this piece off of here. And I'll show you, this is one of the tools I had to buy when I started this project. I told you I had to buy some extra tools, where this is it. I never had these before. I've always needed them. I always worked around them, but this time there was no wiggle room around them. Yes. Tie rod separator set. I got it kind of set up in there. Basically all you gotta do is put it on there and smack it a few times with a hammer. The bigger the hammer, the easier it's going to be. So let's see how this one goes. It's that easy. Now it's kind of hitting it light. This tie rod end separator, the old timers call them pickle forks. It makes life a hell of a lot easier. I will say that. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Just so you know, I used the 11/16 inch separator. The 11/16 inch fork. Okay, the next step of this is to use a 15/16 socket and wrench so I can ratchet the nut off the bottom of the A-arm. There's two sides. That's going to take 15/16 to get it off. I'm going to take the nuts off but leave the bolts in until I'm ready to pull all this apart. There, so there's 13/16 for the socket. And basically, you put that wrench there. And I'm gonna loosen both these bolts up and take the nuts off of the top A-arms. All the nuts off the bolts of the A-arms, upper and lower, so the bolts are just ready to slide out of the bottom and of the top of the A-arms. Now the next phase of this is that axle shaft right there. That's a 15mm. I'm going to use this 15mm because it fits perfectly in there to loosen them up. But so it doesn't turn on me and I keep it locked while I do it. Well, my plan is this also is a 15mm bolt in here. So I'm gonna take this deep socket, hit 15, stick it in there. That way, when I'm doing the axle shaft, it'll lock it so it doesn't turn. And that's how I'm gonna get the bolts out of that axle shaft there. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you people. How I just showed you before, you could have did it like that, but man, it is hot and the sweat is dripping in my eyes. I can barely see. So the speed that matters up, and I did do one bolt like that. Those are the bolts there. But man, it was very hard to try to break that bolt free with that small ratchet. So just the speed matters up, man. I use the impact. If you got an impact, if you got power tools, that's the way to go. But I'm gonna show you guys the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm not gonna try to act like, oh yeah, I can do it like that. I did it like that. No, I did one bolt like that. I was sweating my butt off, and sweat was dripping in my eyes. So I said, "The hell with that," and broke out the impact wrench. With the impact, it makes short work of it. Boom, and it's off. So there you have it. Now, the next stage of this here is I gotta clean all this up and get this stuff out the way. Get the floor jack underneath this whole unit here. Wiggle the bolts out the upper and lower A-arms, and this should be able to all come apart by now. All right, here we go. I gotta get this torsion bar to go through this lower A-arm. I got everything out in one unit. Taking this apart on my workbench is gonna be a lot easier than taking this apart, laying upside down on my back or on a piece of cardboard. Okay, here we go. There it is. Done dilly. I will take them bolts right there and stick them back into the right there so I know where they're at. I don't lose them. But the full front end assembly is all stripped down. So it looks like loosening, taking them torsion bar keys out first is the way to go. It saves a lot of time because the other side I just took it apart piece by piece. It's very hard to do. But now, excuse the hot mess of the garage, it's all good. You're gonna understand I'm still working. Now, it's gonna be a lot easier taking this all apart, standing up on this table, rather than doing it laying on my back upside down on the concrete. Man, this is gonna work out great, man. It's gonna be a lot easier to get this thing apart. So, mission accomplished. I got a lot of stuff to check off my list I got done today. But that's it for today, man. Mission accomplished, I will say. All right, people. Oh, buddy. It is hot. I'm tired. I'm about to go inside, take a shower, and relax. I'm done for the day, man. There's no big rush. There's no big hurry. I'm not trying to be out here in this Arizona heat playing around too much. But this was a major move forward today, man. I will say. Just showing you a little update of the 1999 two-door Tahoe OBS Chevy. All right, people. Huntsburg Riders, signing out.